Hey, how are you?
Good, good. Merry Christmas.
Oh yeah, Merry Christmas to you. It is December 5th, isn't it?
So please introduce us to yourself.
I wasn't aware of the dress code. I didn't bring my Christmas hat.
So please introduce us to yourself.
Hey everybody, I'm Kyle Maxwell, and
All right,
I'm a
awesome.
great friend of Ashley. I was on the show. I think it was a whole year ago. Was it
Yeah.
not? That's
Yeah, it was last
insane.
year.
That's
It's
insane.
crazy.
Wow.
So let's go ahead and jump right into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
So you recently
Oh, and thank you
started
for
your.
having me on. I
Oh,
appreciate
you're
it.
welcome. Oh, that's very polite of you. That's very polite. So you recently started your channel all over again from scratch.
Yes, I
What
did.
motivated that, and did that not terrify you?
It's actually been something that I was thinking about for a really long time because I've been making content for about 5 years now, going on 6 years.
Oh
And
wow.
I changed concepts a lot. Like if you were to like scroll all the way on the bottom of my old page, it would be like pictures of me like with my middle finger up, like standing outside of a gas station or somewhere. And then I migrated, I started making this is when I was in the music industry. I started making videos about like music artists and how to promote your music. And then I shifted again. Then I started making content about business and social media. And I think that's where you and I kind of met. And then I shifted again, and now I'm just talking about whatever I want now. Now there's really no there's really no structure now. So I felt as if I was just going all over the place with the old page. And plus I used
Uh-huh.
to do a lot of back when I was like a really shady person. I used to I used to buy views, I used to buy followers, I used to just like fuck up the page. And it was pretty much just destroyed and nobody was seeing the content and it was getting really murky and it was I just didn't know what I was doing with it. It was just old. I felt as if I needed to restart because I felt as if I was a new person as well. So it only makes sense to officially restart. And I wanted to make a new community. And I had too many people who, I mean, not to make it sound rude, but just too many people that just didn't get what I was talking about. So I wanted
Yeah.
to start a new community for people that would understand the things that I want to go into in this stage in this part of my journey. And this those people on the last page, it just would have went through one ear out the other. So I'm starting to make a new community talking about things that I feel as if are really important. So we'll see how it goes.
Right. So have you started participating in the metaverse?
The metaverse. Hey, Sienna. No, I have not, and I don't think I will. That's not really my
Why not?
thing. Well, okay. Well, first of all, not to be too cynical about this, but it's a really great technological advancement on Mark Zuckerberg's behalf to create this entire new 3D virtual reality world. And this is something that a lot of tech people, especially Gary Vee, has been talking about for a long time. And we've had VR for a very long time, but it hasn't been something that like you can't name three people that really do this. Like you don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm speaking for myself. I don't know three people that actually own a Oculus Rift. Like no one really does this. It's like a new thing. And why I won't be doing it is first of all, I'm just too busy. And second, I just don't have any I particularly don't have enough interest to do something like that. But I mean, I guess it could be something. I mean, I see a lot of people doing it. They're interweaving it with NFTs. There are already real estate companies that are talking about buying actual real estate in a virtual reality, which is just non-comprehensible. Like I can't even comprehend that. But
Mhm.
like people are going to do it, and it's going to happen. That's not what people like hearing, but it's going to happen, and people are going to be in this metaverse, and people are going to be identifying as unanimate objects. Like these commercials are so eerie and disturbing. But I mean, like I have a lot of preconceived like notions about it, so I'm not the right person to ask because I'm just a skeptical person at heart. So,
Mhm.
but I think
Sure.
I think people will enjoy it, but I think that we should we're playing with fire here, and it's really easy to get caught up in that stuff. But I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like a boomer and say, "Oh, this is devil." Like I'm not gonna sit here and just have that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's gonna happen. So we'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
It feels like the virtual world of Clubhouse,
Yeah.
basically.
Yep.
Um, did you read the
Clubhouse.
adventures? Yeah. Did you read the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn in school?
Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Did Mark Twain write that?
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, that's where I know who wrote it, but I haven't read that book.
So this is something that's not new. They've been doing this for years, trying to like ban certain books from school. Do you think that that's something that they should continue doing?
Banning books from school.
Uh-huh.
Hmm. That's an interesting question because in some cases, I think it would be necessary to ban a book from school. It all depends on what is in the book and why it's being banned. Like this is a difficult question. It's kind of like the question of like indoctrination or the question of what should like the question of because it's hard. It's all about what is being banned. It's all about how it's being conducted. I'm all for banning a book if it's coming from the bottom, if it's coming from the genuine concern of the consumers, and I don't want to make it sound like it's a consensus, but it's something that is just so blatantly obvious that this needs to be banned. Like for instance, like an anti-Semitic book talking about how Jewish people are like not a actual citizen, or a book saying that African Americans are 2/3 of a human. Like, yes, that book should be banned, but I'm not saying it should be banned. I'm saying that is in the category of books that could be in the conversation of being banned. So there has to be like we live in a Western like a democracy. We have to have a process in which we can get together and talk about these certain things and make decisions, not by some like raging mob type of banning. That is the wrong type of banning. That's the sort of thing that we should stay away from. Something getting really really hot and boiling up, and we're all just acting off of impulse, and we just want to go, and we want it out of our faces. Because then that's how you cross the line of deleting books that are historical that we actually need to know. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was just last week they tore down like a Theodore Roosevelt. Was it Theodore Roosevelt or some type of statue? Or one of the founding fathers. Like they tore it down because the statue didn't consent the following the pedestrians because the statue didn't consent the pedestrians. So now statues need to ask for consent. They need to come alive and ask for consent from the pedestrians. Like that's the type of banding that. So there has to be some type of marker where we can say, okay, this is going a little bit too far. So
Yeah.
I'm all for the process in which we decide to eliminate something from the public, but I'm not on this whole let's just get rid of this. Take a red pen, just crosses out and just crosses out.
Yeah.
That's just not productive for anyone. I don't think because
True.
we're going to
Very,
get rid
very
of
true.
things that we need.
Exactly.
There's many things.
Exactly.
There's many things that we don't like that we learn from. Like we can't just ban everything we don't like. Like that's just
Mm,
stupid. That's really stupid. Like
it,
that's really
it is.
stupid. It really is.
That's truly true. So, you're a big football fan,
Yes, I am. They'll be born Monday.
and oh, did you guys recently win?
Yeah, we beat the Seahawks.
Yo, honestly, Washington's been pretty
Yeah, we're
pretty
on a three
decent.
game win streak. Yeah, we
That's
are.
it's very odd,
Yep.
very interesting. Whereas I
Yep.
feel like the Bucks, like I'm
And we just
constantly
beat you
like
guys.
holding my breath watching them play.
Yeah, we just beat
But
you
other,
guys, I think. That was the game before that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I was so mad. But
Yeah. Ha. Ha.
so why? Obviously, Aaron Rodgers has. I don't know if he has. Did he get the shot yet? Vaccine, Aaron Rodgers.
I think he did, yeah.
Did he? Okay, so when he was protesting getting it, why were we so sympathetic towards him as opposed to Kyrie Irving
Why? Who's we?
as Americans?
Hmm. Well, I don't know. I haven't really looked into that a lot, so I really can't give a good answer on that question. But I mean, I am aware of both instances. Um, I don't know. The NBA and the NFL are really two different things,
Hmm.
and I think I'm not too sure. I really can't share an opinion on this one. But I mean, I answer the I guess the general question of we people we can make decisions. Like I think everyone is entitled to make their own decision about what their body. And I think once we start getting into like politicizing people getting medicine, it's just not a good idea. Like
Yeah.
there's this underlying concept that everything can turn into a debate or everything can be up for discussion. Like
Mm.
there's an underlying idea that we all can pitch in what we think. And I know that's kind of contradicted what I said earlier about the whole democratic process of things coming from the bottom and we sharing our opinions. But that's the thing. There's some areas like with this person that I know. I'm gonna tie all this together. This person that I know, this person has zero awareness of nonverbal communication. Like he just doesn't get it. There's certain
Huh.
areas in our life where there's verbal communication, like how I'm talking to you, how if I raise my voice to you, that means I'm probably angry. If
Yeah.
I'm like talking really quiet like this, that probably means I'm trying to explain something to you.
Yeah.
That's the verbal communication, and nonverbal communication is maybe like I give you like a my eyebrows go down, like I look
Yeah.
concerned, or if I'm like this, like I'm surprised. And this man doesn't get the nonverbal communication. So when he's talking to you, he'll just talk. Hey, what are you doing? Yeah, I just did this, I just did that, and he'll just talk and talk and talk, and he won't be able to read your face at all. Like he can't read your face. He can't tell that you're not interested in what you're saying. He can't tell that until you have to make that explicit. Like, yo, dude, like stop talking to me. Like you have to tell him.
Yeah.
So there's certain, and I think the process in which we decide things like this works as well. Like there's certain things that we just have to be able to read that there's just certain things that you just can't really. It's not that you can't talk about it, but it's just not up for you to. It's just not up for discussion. Like this is his life. It's Aaron Rodgers' life. It's Kyrie Irving's life, and this is a personal decision. It's a personal decision. And if we can't be able to read that nonverbal communication, we're not able to read that, then that's how everyone starts getting into everyone else's business. And there's certain invisible lines that once we cross those lines, it's just unproductive. Like we shouldn't be talking about certain things. And those invisible lines are what the nonverbal communication like on our faces are. Hope that analogy makes sense. And there isn't like a book that you can read and be like, oh, when someone makes this face, that means shut up. And there isn't like a book you can read where it's like, oh, don't ask someone about their vaccine. Like there isn't something explicit that you can just see and read. There's just certain things that we just have to we should just know. There's certain things that like what is off limits? Like what else are we gonna talk about? Like are we gonna ask people, hey, have you ever had herpes before? Like have you got your shot for HIV, right? I know you had AIDS last year. Did you get your shot? Like are like what is not up for consideration? Hey, do you have chlamydia? I know you had that like a couple of months ago. Did you ever get that cured? Like what is up for like what is about what are the lines? If you don't have lines, if you don't have that nonverbal communication, everything is everyone's business.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't really like talking about people's personal decisions, and I hate when people, oh, Kyrie's being selfish. He like who the fuck are you to be talking about someone else's and what they're putting? I understand that, yeah, like he's around players and yeah, he's putting himself at risk, but it's like, man, I told myself I'm gonna try to stop cussing, but it's like, fuck off, man. Like it's just annoying. Like there's certain
Yeah.
things that we just should not be concerned about. And those things are invisible and are not blatantly obvious. So I know I probably didn't really answer your question, but it's
You
like
did.
Aaron Rodgers, Kyrie Irving, it's like these people are athletes. I'm just trying to watch them throw the ball and fucking shoot a 3-pointer. Like I'm not even concerned about any of that. There's certain things, like for instance, if Aaron Rodgers went on like a, a homicide and killed 12 people. I mean, yeah, we should talk about that because no
Yeah.
one wants any more people to be dead. But it's like if Aaron Rodgers like converted to Judaism, he converted to being a Jew. Like who the fuck cares? Like, I don't fucking that's his
Yeah.
personal decision. Like I don't care. Like, oh, does Aaron Rodgers does he believe in God or not? Like, dude, I don't like what. That's none of my business. Oh,
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving is oh now he's bisexual now. Like I don't care. Like there's
Yeah.
certain things that just don't that should not concern us. So that's my answer to that question. There's just certain things that we should just mind our own damn business about.
That was freaking brilliant. That was
Thanks.
so brilliant. That was oh, I'm definitely putting that in the clip. Um um oh, speaking of homicide, so
Quite the segue
the
there.
so the Kyle Rittenhouse case, right?
Yeah.
It got some people are comparing it to the media attention that he got for that trial is similar to the O.J. Simpson case.
Yeah.
Should we keep? This is a three-part question, and I'll remind you the questions. Should criminal cases such as that situation be kept private rather than the media advertising about it as much until the
Wow.
case is solved?
It's a great question. I was literally thinking
Second
about that yesterday.
question. Um, um, should how can the media be more unbiased rather than making decisions for how we should feel about the person, or should they at all? And then final question, whose job is it to play judge, jury, and executioner?
What was the last question?
Whose job is it to play judge, jury, and executioner?
Whose job is it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too sure what you mean by that.
Because right now it feels like it's the American public rather than the judge
Oh, I
themselves.
got you. Okay, okay. So yeah, I understand that, and that's interesting you asked me that because that first question is something that I literally was thinking about yesterday. I'm like, okay, you're like, yeah, like we have all these cases, and they get blown up, and everyone's like talking about them, and then I'm like asking myself, I'm like, why are these cameras and people in this courtroom? Like,
Yeah,
why are we
yeah,
seeing this? And I think that goes back to my last point. It's like, why do we have access to this? Like, for instance, like I've had speeding tickets before. I've had things I had to go to court for. Like, I don't want fucking CNN in there like showing advertising what I'm doing. Like, I thought about myself. Like, I don't want the Washington Post posting articles about how I was speeding. Like, I don't want everyone to know that. And like, where's the consent there? Like, do they ask the Rittenhouse family, "Hey, can we come in?" Like I don't know how any of that works. So, but then another thing, like if things that get national attention, we would want to see what's going on in there. Like,
yeah.
who knows what they're doing? They could just be bypassing the whole entire system itself, and we just have no idea what's going on. Like, so it comes with a risk. Like, we're gonna show this to everyone, but the risk is, you're sacrificing your privacy. You're sacrificing your I mean, yeah, that's what it is. You're sacrificing your privacy. So should these cases be blown up? I don't know. That's a hard question because we do have freedom of press. We have freedom of speech, and some juries are open to the. I mean, jury rooms are open to the public. Like anyone can just walk in there. So I guess that doesn't. So I don't know. That's a hard question. But I will agree that they sometimes they really can get out of hand. They really can get out of hand. So that's a really difficult question. The second question was, if I can remember, what was the second question?
How can the media be less biased
How can they
towards
be less
giving us
biased?
information, or
That's
should
that's
they at all?
that's a really great question, and that's something that I've been working on for the past 2 years, and that's actually something that we started in July. I don't know if anyone knows this, but we started on we took this exact problem of the media being overbiased. They're telling you what to think. They're saying who you can agree with, who you can't agree with, and that's why I started I don't know if you've seen this or not, the Daily Break this summer. So we're just a two-person company right now. I have one writer, but all we do we try to have a meeting every single week. We have a meeting tomorrow. On our meetings, we literally talk about how can we make this story. If we're covering the Rittenhouse case, for example, we try to cover it as objectively as possible, because there's certain categories in journalism. There's opinion journalism, where you'll have like a journalist, let's say a journalist from CNN, then you'll really put in the subtitle or wherever in the article, this is an opinion piece by X person. So when you see that, you should be able to distinguish, okay, this is not objective media. I'm getting someone's bias, someone's plagued, someone's contaminated opinion. That's what I'm reading right now. I'm reading what this person thinks. And then there's objective media, which used to be on the TV, on the news. And this is kind of like, okay, we're just going to tell you, we're just going to.
One second, Kyle. My phone is overheating. Let me move my phone away from the sun.
Oh, no.
1 second. Yeah.
Hey, everyone. That's a nice house. Okay, I'm going to start beatboxing until she's...
Oh, no. Do you know how to beatbox?
No, I really don't.
Okay, keep going.
But where was I going? Yeah, and and so for instance, there's opinion journalism. So this is this one person's opinion. It shouldn't be anything we should take seriously. And then there is the more objective news, where like if you just turn the news and like there's like a news person and they're just saying, "Oh, this cat fell out of a tree yesterday," like